Hello, good morning. Now we continue introduction to American literature, and we stopped how 19th century poetry became popular in America, though they had been migrants and now developed literature as such. Because as I told you, they had two important factors in their life. One is that they had very good self-confidence. Though they came from UK, they developed a particular culture in America and now developed literature. And literature has been one of the major foods for the educated people in America. And later in 19th century, so many poets and writers, Emily Dickinson and Mark Twain, the Tom Sawyer story that you have studied, very how philosophical he is, Adventures of Tom Sawyer, and which we studied in our, upper primary classes, and later Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, and slowly the total, total group of thinkers and writers turned to the naturalism. So, like in Britain, we have naturalism happening here. All right, naturalism. Naturalism means what? They gave importance to nature. And nature has been, earlier we told there was a harmony between man and nature. And nature has been uplifted by the writers, and everybody preferred naturalistic scenarios, naturalistic sites and valleys, poems on valleys and meadows. All these happen to be the one of the factors in the life of Americans, and now they appeared as a literary movement in 19th century. As if what we find in Great Britain during this time, romantic revival, importance given to nature by Wordsworth, Coleridge, P.B. Shelley, then our John Keats, Byron, like so many poets who upheld what is called romantic revival and creed. During the same time, here we developed in America a naturalistic group of poets. Stephen Crave, one of the best naturalistic poets. Jack London, all right, one is Stephen Crave, then Jack London, then Frank Horace. All these three people modified literature to the 19th century of literature towards the development of naturalism. So these poets, apart from Thomas, all right, what is called Mark Twain and Emily Dickinson, then later these 19th century poets came and modified literature as such in the country. Then they stressed these people in naturalism, or the people who are naturalists, they upheld and stressed the natural man and his passion. Natural man, a common man, just like Wordsworth did. They selected a common people's language as we studied in Romanticism, all right, earlier. In the same way, you have studied in literary criticism and lyrical ballads written by our Wordsworth that you have studied. During this time like that, they gave much importance to nature and natural man and his passion. How he is related to the environment of the nature, environment. So they have to not highlight the epic subject matter, enlightened themes taken from like epic. Americans had no epics at all. Because there is no epics written in America to point out like Iliad or Aeneid or like what is called Paradise Lost, like that, no epics written. So they have no time to depend on. They had no choice to depend on epics and to show what is the real classic literature. Major movements in the field of literature that you have to copy down. Major movements, what happened? All right. During this time, major movements. One, all right, what is called drama, then poetry, fiction, criticism. All right. First one was in America, what he called drama developed. Then fiction, all right, developed. Fiction. Then we had developed poetry and criticism. Poetry developed. Then criticism developed. These are the four areas that have been developed during this 19th century. Now, period of great experiments like this 19th century. In America, we find different experiments in the field of drama or what we call theatrical arts. All right, theatrical arts. So, development of drama in America, we can find and fix only during the time of 19th century. The theater called, they had a little theater. Or the one particular theater, just like Globe Theatre in Great Britain, we had a little theater in America. We had a lot of experiments in dramas. Just like in Kerala also, we have a lot of. In Thrissur, we have a drama school, what is called John Matthews Center. All right, John Matthews Center. All right, that is in nearby my house. It promotes drama and theatrical arts. Had been initiated by Dr. Vaila Vasudeva Pilla. Earlier was an exponent of dramatic schools in Calicut University. He was there earlier in Kerala University, later came to Calicut University, and he spent his all life for the development of theatrical arts. Like that, in every country, particularly in every state, we have a facility for developing theatrical arts. In the same way, in America, in just like Globe Theatre in London, we have a little theatre in America. Eugene O'Neill, shortly we call O'Neill, popular in the dramatic school during this time, O'Neill dramas. All right, he called O'Neill. All right, O'Neill. All right, he's a playwright. Playwright means 1888 to 1953. All right, O'Neill dramas in America. Once we refer to American literature, we find Eugene O'Neill popular, and he has written so many dramas. One is Anna Christie. That is one of the, that is 1946. Anna Christie. Then Desire Under the Elms. Anna Christie, a drama. Desire Under Elms. Then Iceman Comet. That is another drama. They had somewhat dramatic influence from Germany. Then Gothic arts like these people in America who put, especially O'Neill, they put forward drama and one-act plays, theatrical arts. They had in touch with German theatre or Germanic. Tennessee William Arthur Miller, 20th century literature dramatist. Tennessee Williams, a very great dramatist, and Arthur Miller. They have the themes of collapse of value system in the society. Towards the end of 20th century, we find America has been developed one of the supermost powers. Still, it remains supermost powers in everything. And in culture of the culture of the urban civilization, urban society, has dethroned It is written by many writers, not merely dramatists, but also poets like T.S. Eliot, a very famous poet. He is equal with Shakespeare in Great Britain. T.S. Eliot, that you might have studied in criticism, what is called tradition and individual talent. And he brings out what is poem, how has been poem, and what should be a poem. Then what should be a diction, what is his technique called disassociation of sensibility and objective correlative theory. A lot of theories he brought. On the other hand, he has produced a very beautiful epic poem like that the wasteland, which had been criticized by almost 50,000 people. So he is an American poet. Means what? 20th century literature, once you consider to 19th century literature in America, 20th century literature has opened for all the young generation to understand how they are disillusioned after the first two or second World War, how life became very, very much dejected for the young generation. And but still the poets like T.S. Eliot, during the towards the end of the poem, The Wasteland, he finds somewhat a hope in life that later, one day or another day, it will be changed. He says by telling different ideas taken from Upanishads from India, which is written in Sanskrit. He produced different what he called echoic words like da, tha, dayatham, damyada, like that. There are so many hopes in life, though the young generation, the total public of all America, total public of all London and New Jersey or New York, Washington, everybody died. Everybody spiritually died. There will be a hope, he says. In the same way, Edwin Robinson, that new poets like Robert Frost, all right, very important poet like Robert Frost, that you might have studied Stopping by the Woods, very important poem, which I do remember that I studied in intermediate classes, that Stopping by the Woods, Robert Frost. Many poems he has written, but this poet, all right, through Stopping by the Woods, which I cannot easily forget in my life. So, Ezra Pound used in many common peoples. Then T.S. Eliot, I told you, redefined literature, The Wasteland. The poem ends. Then Ernest Hemingway, all right, eminent writers, Ernest Hemingway. All right, then William Faulkner, John Steinbeck, Saul Bellow, all these are fiction writers. Who are they? Ernest Hemingway, William Faulkner, John Steinbeck, then Saul Bellow. New American literature is much accepted by the society. Now what we should find? We should find though a lot of writers and their writings and creativity that had been upheld by the society. What are the main important characteristics of American literature? After this introduction, we have to study some poems and short stories, even some areas of fiction, that once you go through that, once you approach them, you should keep the characteristics of American literature, which are totally different from British literature characteristics. One of the only 4 to 5 characteristics that you keep in mind in American literature. All right, one is deficiency of folk literature. Features that you can copy down. Features. All right, one, deficiency. All right, deficiency of folk literature. All right, this is one of the important characteristics of modern American literature. So there is no folk literature in America. Why? The folk literature which expected to have born by the people who took birth in America. But the people who took birth in America are Red Indians. They had no choice for writing because their language had not been developed. What is written by T.S. Eliot, Red Indian language were only oral communication, no written communication. So, no folk literature, no epics written in America. So, they could not easily depend or refer to the formal literature. It introduced not all settlers from UK, no epics written. A short story, not mythology, all right, no mythology ever possible in America. That is one of the important characteristics. Means what? Deficiency of folk literature and non-availability of folk literature, non-availability of epics, no availability of old literature, only developed in 17th century by the appearance of people who migrated from Great Britain to America. They developed their literature. Then second one, literature and American life. Then literature and American life. That you have to copy down. Life of Americans. All right. Means what? Literature is very shortened by American because it has been developed by educated class and their life and culture is different. So they encourage their identify opinion American. They have a different spirit and character because literature during this time, those which developed by migrants, only meant for those people educated, only meant for those people civilized, only meant for those people who are going to colleges and universities. Then third one is elevation of the common man. All right, that is another point. Elevation of common man. That common man. Elevation of common man means what? That would happen in 19th century. A naturalistic theory, what I referred already, naturalistic theory, the theory in which nature was given much prominence and man was considered, common man was considered, in UK also during 19th century, common man was considered to be the best character. Only by the 19th century romantic poets like Wordsworth and P.B. Shelley, then what he called John Keats. The same parallel development happened in America during this time in 19th century. Naturalism became one of the key factors in the life, and those people who began to write literature gave much importance to common elevation of common man, that you keep in mind. The fourth characteristic is that preoccupation with the facts. All right, preoccupation, all right, with the facts. All right, they, before writing poem in America, literary writers had kept real facts in their life. If there are no facts, they could not easily, they do not give much importance for imagination or fancy, but they upheld only facts. That you have to keep. Then the Indian and his life, that is also one of the features. Indians, that I told you know, Indians and their life. All right, Indians, Red Indians and his life. They occupied a lot of forest areas. Red Indians occupied lot of forest areas to which migrants were not allowed to enter. These people, no, they have a particular uncivilized culture. They have no dress at all, keeping some feathers of forest beaks and keeping one a big swan and all that. They are going. Their life is different. They have no culture. Their culture may be a different culture. So they do not allow migrants to enter to the forest. Their life has been confined in the forest. And their literature was only oral literature, no written literature, because they had no written script. They did not agree to convert it to Christianity. They were not ready. So many people, migrants people, thought to convert them to Christianity, and these people did not allow themselves, nor ready to obey colony settlers. Settlers brought a lot of rules, but they did not mind these migrants. American Indians were really marginalized group, just like downtrodden people, uncultured people, uncivilized people. They have been marginalized. So actually, two types of literature might have been happening. One is oral literature, one is written literature. Oral literature is prominent by the culture of Red Indians. So we can easily see there are certain characteristics which are kept by the people to face the literature in America. One is they have no evidences in folk literature. Deficiency in folk literature is one of the major characteristics that you keep in mind. Then literature and American life, they happen. Then elevation of common man's elevation. Then preoccupation with the facts. Then the Indians and his life. All these they have to develop. In the American literature, in the textbook that you have, we have 8 segments, and one is introduction to American literature that already now have been discussed. Then we go to third one, fourth one, seventh one, eighth one. All right, third one is anecdote of the jar. Then fourth one is Sylvia Plath's Edge. Both are simple poems that we will discuss in the next few classes. Then William Faulkner, Barn Burning, seventh one. That is a short story that will go very easily. Then Edgar Allan Poe, Fall of the House of Usher. Very important story that we will also discuss. So in the few coming classes, we will have 2-3 stories and 2-3 poems. Okay, till that moment, thank you.